What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Crumbs update. Part 2, I guess would be it. I never got my shipment, which is fun because I got another email claiming that I won't be getting my shipment because apparently Midtown is claiming that I had ordered too late or something like that, so I don't even know if I'm getting my Spider-Mans or not, which is a pain in the ass. So thanks again, Midtown, for screwing me. But who knows? I'm going to let it slide and see what happens because I've gotten emails saying I'm not getting something and then the next day it shows up. So, we'll see. I'm hoping. But again, it's still Stan Lee's birthday. In honor of that, I forgot to show this. But I've shown it before when I went to a convention. And I know Hippies Collectibles is trying to decide what he wanted to do. I actually, when I met him, I got the photo op. Me and Stan Lee. The VIP ticket. Very, very cool to be in his presence. And get a photo with him. I had gotten 2 signatures, which I've shown. One was Stan Lee Meets the Amazing Spider-Man #1. I had him sign that. And I had him sign my Marvel poster. And then I figured, because there's so many books I could have chosen to have him sign. And I'm like, I really want to have that signed. I want to have that signed. And I'm just like, I haven't seen this signed really a lot, which was the Stan Lee Meets Spider-Man, which now I see it constantly. And I didn't see many of the Marvel posters I had signed, so I was like, what the hell? I was like, it'd be cool to have that. And so I got a photo op with him, which was really cool, which I have to get reframed, unfortunately. My fiance, I don't know what happened. She banged into it or something, and it fell and broke, and she tried to glue it back together, and it's just not holding. So we're going to have to get it reframed. But this update, not just to show that, but I'm going to do a one-book review and answer a question that everyone's been asking me. Well, not everyone, but a few people on there. So, the one book I got a chance to read over the past couple hours is Amazing Spider-Man #244, which is with the Hobgoblin and the Green Goblin. Mostly Hobgoblin, though. In this thing, Spider-Man learns that the Hobgoblin is Lefty Donovan, and then you find out it's not Lefty Donovan. Just a big Hobgoblin kind of conspiracy thing going on. And Mary Jane apparently is dating some other guy with blonde hair. Whatever. But it wasn't a bad book. It's filling in my gaps. Now, on to the question. I've been getting a lot of, requests, I guess, showing artwork and asking how I do some of the stuff I do. Which I did make a video once actually showing me draw this Wolverine. And I had gotten a question how I did this one. How I got it the way it looks. Quite honestly, first thing I get is a #2 pencil, usually. Unless I know the character by heart and I know exactly what I want to do on the paper, I don't use this. But if I don't have a clue, I use this first, because you can always erase with light marks of the pencil. Then what I do, I seem to have misplaced it. Thought I had it right there. Hang on. Anyway. Alright, so I misplaced my pen. What can I tell you? I have this fine tip pen that I use to usually draw stuff in general. But for Wolverine, I used the pen obviously, and then I went over the pen with the fine tip marker. Very fine tip black. And then everyone's like, oh, well, how do you do, that? Use a thick marker about 3 times to make it look that dark on his mask and his boots, and you got to go over it. I'm very patient usually when I draw. That's what you have to be with drawing. You have to give yourself, people who are just starting out like, oh, I can't draw. This sucks. You got to practice. You have no idea how much I've practiced to make this look the way it does. When I was a kid, I was always drawing. Always, every single day, I would draw something or try to draw something. And like I said, with the black for his mask and his boots, I would go over it and go over it and go over it and go over the same spot, like I said, like 4 times. Go at just 1 stroke, 2 strokes, until it's filled in. So that's what that looks like. Now, I also use these, which are 2-sided. They're called Wilson 2+. One side is a fine tip, Sorry, fat tip. There we go. There's a fat tip, and the other side is a fine tip, which you can't see it too well, but that's what they are. These are a couple multicolored ones. The black one isn't too bad, but it's kind of run its course, so I start using the thicker black markers, which is Office Max permanent marker. I just use these for the different colors, the yellow, the blue, and the red. I do have 2 professional kits that I had gotten. One went out for my 13th birthday, and one when I graduated high school. My aunt got me a professional thing, which at this time, I really don't know where I put it. I packed a lot of things away when I was closing out my man cave, and I must have packed it away, otherwise I would show you. But apparently, the one kit that I got was extremely expensive from what I've been told. But another fun thing, I used to carry this around in high school, and I used to get, of course, you know, if you weren't a comic person, people would be laughing your ass off. And I would do this. This is a superhero book. I used to carry it in my backpack, and some of my friends would be like, "What the hell is that thing?" I'm like, "Well, basically what it is, when you open it, it's how to draw superheroes, basically." And what I use this for is to not only fine-tune what I was able to do, but also just keep myself in practice. Like, they would have things like here, where, as you can see, it's a traceable thing, but that's what the Hulk looks like, and you would trace over the photo to make it look exactly as it is. Which tracing is extremely good for practice. And I don't care what anyone says, because like, "Oh, you're a tracer, you can trace it." Tracing without tracing, you'll never learn. Like, a lot of stuff, when I was a kid, that's what my father knew how to draw really well. And he would always say, like, "Hey, you gotta trace stuff. Just trace it. Just keep tracing." And I'm like, "Why am I tracing?" I was like, "I want to do this." And he's like, he would give me just stuff, like just photos or something like that. "Yeah, trace this, trace that, try to trace this. Trace it. And it's supposed to, one, make you comfortable with what you're doing, and two, you learn that way. You know, like, oh, you go, this line goes that way, that line goes this way, that's how you make a muscle, that's how you do this, that's how you do that. And that's what this thing does, too. They also have, you know, where you'd fill in, which you can't see too well, you know, the body parts, where muscles and joints are. And then they would give you, like, if you could see the beast, they would give you the photo here, and you would have to draw it. And obviously, you could see I drew the beast, and same thing with Wolverine. They would give you the Wolverine, and then you would have to draw him. So that's pretty much what I did. And when I was in like lunch or, I had to draw a Storm. Can't see it too well because it's so light. But they would teach you how to do points of view. Like with the Juggernaut, I'm looking at him from over the ledge. See, it's supposed to be Cyclops, but I did it really fast on the bottom. He's supposed to be looking at the Juggernaut. I drew Thor's helmet down there. You know, just fun stuff. And like I said, it kept it in practice. I had to draw, you know, Doc Ock and Rogue. And actually, there's a lot of things I would do when I was supposed to be studying in class. I'd be drawing, you know, I had to draw stick figures for different poses. But this thing is just a really, it was a helpful tool. I mean, granted, I did know how to draw when I got this book, but it did help to fine-tune stuff. Again, you had to draw over the muscles. Show you. Had to draw that, and that would be the fine-tune thing if I went ahead and did it. So it's, you know, it was, everyone says it's kind of cheesy, but I thought it was pretty cool. Then they would teach you how to do faces. Fill it in. Which, I did do a lot of them. I don't think I actually did everything on this thing. I just kind of futzed around with it from time to time. I just thought it was a cool book. Which probably I shouldn't have probably drawn it because it's probably worth money now, but I doubt it. But, yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here that I did. Yeah, there's a Venom and Spider-Man I did. Cool stuff. Cool book. Yeah, another drawing I did when I was in, this when I was in junior high when I had art class. See, it's on drawing paper. Green Goblin. I was bored. My art teachers were pretty cool because when I did art class, like I did art class in elementary, which is mostly, you know, finger painting and stuff like that. But when I got to junior high, they actually had like art classes, um, and it wasn't too bad. I wasn't great or anything, but I knew what I was doing, and I would, you know, listen to the teacher and, you know, say like, oh, this is how you shadow this, and this is how you do that, and, you know, I liked it. I was sitting there, and I was pretty much the only kid in there, just like, this is cool. So that's how you do that. And I would ask my teacher, like, they would be drawing like fruit. I was like, well, you know, I drew the fruit. You know, can I draw something else? Like, yeah, go ahead, you know, go nuts. And I was like, how would you draw, like, a wingspan? And my teacher looked at me like, what? I was like, you know, a mutant, you know, big wings. And I was like, I want to draw this character. I was like, how can you draw it to make it look like it's, you know? And my teacher's like, oh, well, that's a little advanced. I'm like, well, you know, maybe you can show me. And my teachers were pretty cool, like I said, in junior high and high school, especially in high school. High school, my two teachers, Mrs. Latchkey, was just very, very understanding and not just reasonable, but she was just a cool teacher. And Mrs. S, I can't remember what her actual name was. I always used to call her Mrs. S. They were both really cool because they knew I was so far ahead of everybody in the class. Not to toot my own horn, but I was. Like, I'm sitting here and people were drawing, like, you know, cereal, and I'm kind of like, alright, you know, I did the cereal, like, you know, in 2 seconds, and I started drawing, like, dragons and all sorts of crazy stuff. And, which I'm actually going through this right now real quick. Yeah, bear with me, I'm trying to get through. I found one of my old books, which still got a lot of blank sheets in it, but this was actually one of my old art books that I found that I had in school. As you can see inside, got some Spider-Man stickers and Timmy, and just a lot of stuff that, like I said, like I have, again, bear with me, I got so much crap in here. I just found it, I'm like, oh my god, I was like, look at all that stuff. I got, you know, sketch pads in there, which I don't even know what the hell's in here. Oh, nothing. Just, it's empty. Anyway, yeah, I had let's see what I got. Yeah, it was something that I did in school I never finished. I was drawing Wolverine running. I was going to draw the rest of the X-Men. Never got around to it, I guess. And, yeah, but anyway, like I said, I lost my train of thought for a second there. But my teachers were pretty cool with stuff, like, because I would do the work that I was assigned, and then I would just do extra stuff. Not for credit, but just because I didn't really want to draw any more cereal or, you know, fruit. And, you know, every now and then you would get something crazy. I'll do that in colored pencil. Every now and then you would get something like, oh, you know, draw this guy sitting down. And then I'd be like, alright, that's cool. I haven't done that before. Let me try sitting down. Or you draw like a girl laying down or whatever. Yeah, I was... Yes, I did. This was in junior high. Superman, arm wrestling, Spider-Man. Can't see too well with the glare, but there's pencils. Like I said, there's a one of those flurries from Mario Brothers. Yeah, just some stuff. There's Wolverine. It's one of the dragons. These were actually in my locker. That little bastard who throws crap, the Spinies in Mario Brothers. I had a Mario Brothers thing when I was in elementary, and up a bomb. Got a porcupine. Sorry for the glare, but there was like a Cyclops that I was trying to mess around with, different things. Something else I never finished. There's Bartman. It's drawing Homer. Yeah, these are the things I did in school. I don't know what the hell. I must have been on something. I'm sure on that one. No, nah, I didn't do no drugs. Another Wolverine. Another Wolverine. As you can see, I've gotten better with my Wolverines, because these were basically all in junior high and high school. I was teaching myself how to draw Bugs Bunny, which I finally got right. So as you can see, practice makes perfect. You got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until it's to the point where it's almost like a second nature. I had to do a portrait of one of the girls in class. Didn't do all that great. I hope she doesn't get too pissed. Little Mauser. Goomba. Yeah, I figured I'd show these because a lot of people, like I said, have been asking. This I never finished. It's Wolverine. Yeah, some of the stuff I basically drew on whatever I could find, whatever I had lying around. Shriek. This thing's from Doom. Dagger. Cloak and Dagger. Drew Rogue and Gambit. As I make a complete mess of everything in here. It was a mess to begin with. That's number one. But yeah, it's just some stuff. Like I said, people have been. I got a couple of requests. A couple of friends. Oh yeah, I remember that, dude. I remember that. You show that off, you know. Then I had my fiance did this for me, which was pretty nice of her actually. She grabbed a whole bunch of my drawings and kind of laminated them. There's the Shaman's Tear. She put them in like these, there's a girl crow. Yeah, she put them like this plastic stuff. I'm trying to see some good ones. There's a Venom. Bear with me. Spider-Man eating donuts. Teenager, what can I tell you? There's a few more. There's Domino. Val Cooper from the X-Men, X-Factor. It's Howard the Duck. Oop, sorry, Howard. There we go, Howard the Duck. Let's see. Multiple Man. Spider-Man and Venom. Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a Spawn. I think this guy's name is Fritz. Just seeing what I got. Yeah, this is just a lot of work. I can remember all the some of the board days I had in class. There's Mary Jane. Oh, she falls over. There we go. Mary Jane. And some merman kind of guy. There's Namorita. Tasmanian Devil. Tasmanian Devil. Here's something I still don't even know what the hell I was doing. But you can see it. It's a giant worm with a top hat. And as you can see, the bird thinks he's going to get the worm on the one side. And he doesn't realize it's a giant worm connected to his little tail, and he's going to eat him. That's how bored I was sometimes. Let's see what else I have that's actually worth taking a look at. There's a Superboy saving a girl who obviously was in the shower. Here's a somebody killing some kind of creature. It's not a lot of me. There's Spider-Man rising from the grave. And Beavis and Butthead getting ready to shoot him in the balls. That's just a little glimpse. That's just one book. I literally probably have like 10 to 15 art books that I've been just finding randomly. I'm opening a box, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, who knows, maybe I'll make more in the future. But this has been quite a long video to begin with anyway, for part 2. But I showed some stuff that people have been asking about, so I hope that helps. As of lately, though, I really don't really draw that much anymore. I mean, granted, I did draw for the Edge Blades for his contest. I drew Superman and Spider-Man, I think. But it just, sometimes people ask me, like, you know, can you draw this for me, draw that for me? And usually I don't mind, like, you know, I don't mind helping, but I just really can't do it all that much, because it's kind of a long story. When I was 19, 20, I think, yeah, 20, I've told people I was heavily in the martial arts, and I actually injured my hand pretty bad, my right hand and left hand, but mostly the right hand is what I draw with. And a lot of times, like, the simplest drawing, even a circle, hurts like a mother, and you really can't see it too well, especially in the camera, but I actually have a scar, but you really can't see it at all. There you go. Right there. Goes straight across. Can't see too well, but it basically goes all the way up my hand. Had a sword shoved through it, and I actually had to pull the sword out with this hand, actually slide it down the blade, which is a long, painful story, which I don't really want to get into, but because of that, it really messed up my hand, and a lot of times, like some days, it's almost like arthritis, like I can't even close them. They get so puffed out, or they get so, you know, it just hurts. Let's put it that way. It just hurts a lot, and that's a lot of the reasons why I don't draw anymore. Like, on occasion, I'll get like this bug because it's still in me that I have to draw something, and sometimes, like I said, the simplest thing, like a circle, could take me like a month to draw just a circle sometimes if it hurts that bad. And other days, it doesn't hurt at all. Other days I can pump out, like if you watch the Edge of Blades video I made for him, I can pump out stuff like this in a couple minutes. You know, it all depends on how my hand is feeling that day. It's very temperamental. So I apologize. I know sometimes people think I'm being a dick when I'm like, I really can't. I can't draw it for you. I can't do that. I can't do it. It's not that I don't want to. It's that sometimes I just can't. I just can't do it because it hurts way too much, and sometimes it would just take way too long, and then a lot of times I forget all about it that I drew something, or So I apologize. But hopefully I showed you a little bit of my memory lane from junior high and high school. A lot of fun looking at some of the stuff where I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I drew that. But anyway, I was kind of bored, so I figured I'd show some stuff. And hopefully tomorrow, because like I said, I don't know what's going on. According to the 2 emails, one email said that Midtown hasn't shipped me anything, and then the other email had a shipment number, tracking number, and it's supposed to show up tomorrow. Excuse me. So, I guess it's a crapshoot. Anyway, sound the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it.